Ryan Clark goes on First Take and absolutely destroys Shannon Sharpe's GOAT debate. Let's watch.
I can't say anymore. I'm probably already in trouble for mentioning it to a, well, we call you normies.
So unless you've been hiding under a rock for the past few days, you know that the Kansas City Chiefs lost in a pretty epic fashion. If you ask me, nobody expected the Eagles to come out and absolutely dominate the game like they did. Much respect to the Eagles, and I hope Mahomes is able to make it back to the Super Bowl. He's a great player, and I'm sure he will have more Super Bowls under his belt as the years go on. He has a great career ahead of him. However, the GOAT debate was raised coming up to the Super Bowl about Mahomes possibly three-peating the NFL Super Bowl championship and becoming one of the first quarterbacks to ever do it in the modern-day NFL, all right? And so now that he lost in epic fashion, well, that whole conversation is up in the air, and these guys went on to talk about it. Dan Orlovsky, Ryan Clark, Shannon Sharpe, and of course, the illustrious Stephen A. Smith. And we got to talk about it because Ryan Clark goes in on Shannon Sharpe about the GOAT debate and his comparison to LeBron James. And I have to admit, he had a great point, and Shannon Sharpe couldn't really say nothing about it. He actually had to walk his argument back. So I ain't going to talk no more. We got to get into it, of course, because this is a YouTube video. I got to get my fair use clause. So for all of you, stop pausing the video, ninjas. For all of you, let the video play, ninjas.
Get out! Get out! Get the stepping!
A link will be in the description box. You can watch this without my commentary, criticism, or interruption. If you are still here, thank you very much for your viewership and fair use.
But Tom also lost
to Eli Manning twice.
He lost to Eli and
Twice.
Nick Foles.
Twice. And Nick Foles. So we can't go by that. We can't go by just
Right. So if we look at it, I think down the road, if we get down the road, guys, and he can get to 6, we might have to, if he can get to 7. Because I thought if he won this one, Stephen A., a three-peat, wins another one, guys, 5. And in the course of winning 5, and in that 5, there was a three-peat because we love three-peat.
Right.
That's what Stephen A. throws in my face all the time. Three-peat.
Because it never happened with LeBron. It never happened with LeBron. But go ahead.
Now you hear that, right?
Enemy spotted.
You hear that? They already kind of inserted a little A because we know how much Shannon Sharpe loves. He loves the glazed LeBron, right? Okay. Now, to be fair, Tom Brady had a 10-year gap between 2005 and 2015 where he lost this. Well, he wasn't either lost or wasn't in the Super Bowl. Now he went to the Super Bowl twice during that 10-year gap. Okay, and of course the other people that won during that time, the Giants, the Ravens, the Seahawks. I think the Packers won again. The Saints. There was a lot of people in between there. Okay, and so the Colts even I believe as well. So there's a big gap where he didn't win. No problem with that. However, he consistently went to the Super Bowl almost every other year or every 3 years he went, and he has, like I said, 7 rings to prove his worth, multiple MVPs. He has a lot of records under his belt, a lot of championships, a lot of accomplishments. So with that being said, he had a lot of losses as well. And that also counts in the GOAT debate along with his championships. But his consistency in the championship round and the championship also solidified his GOAT status. And that we brought into question later on when Ryan Clark brings up the LeBron comparison.
That one right there made me the greatest player of all time.
Let's continue.
But go ahead.
He likes three-peats. Okay. But if Stephen A., you said it, you and I were talking about this. It's not that he lost, it's how he's losing.
That's right.
I mean, 31-9, 40-22. And y'all know I don't like empty calories. I like to eat nutritious food. Chicken breasts, you know what I'm saying? Lean company. That's empty calories. That's Twinkies. That's cupcakes. That's donuts. Those are empty calories. And then you look at Patrick Mahomes' stats, you see 257, 3 touchdowns. But come on, guys. At one point in time, that score was 40-6. That game wasn't no 40-22 game. No. That was a 40 ass whipping.
Yes.
And the Eagles laid it on them. So you're right. Until for the next 5 years, ain't no more GOAT conversation. Ain't no GOAT talk.
Now I must agree. That 40 to I think what 6 or 40 to 14, that was really 40-0. Because those touchdowns that they won at the end, at the end of the game were pretty meaningless. Because I mean, they started putting their second string in. The defense was pretty much like started probably relaxing at that point. I mean, they were already like 5 possessions up on them. So I mean, just to keep the game from being a rout, they had to kind of let him get 1 or 2 off, right? So it was really garbage statistics at that point.
When it comes to quarterback
And
or football
for at least the next 3 years.
Yeah.
At least the next.
Now, if he he goes back in the next 3 years, guys, and he gives 2 more,
right.
we're going to have to revisit
We can
this.
revisit. Y'all tripping.
You see it. He tripping. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Hold up. See, he about to cook.
Enemy spotted.
He about to cook. Just watch this right here. Do you see his face? Let me take the fair use off real quick. Do you see Ryan Clark's face right now? Do you see Dan Orlovsky's like, what is he thinking right now? Ryan Clark is about to bring up a very good point. I want y'all to pay attention. I'll let you know when it comes up. Let's go.
Yeah, I totally agree. No, I totally agree that that conversation is tabled for now. But remember, Tom went 10 years without winning one. So he's got a long career ahead of him if you're Patrick Mahomes. I agree, the blowouts. You know, Patrick's got 2 Super Bowl losses by 20 points. Tom's got 3 Super Bowl losses by 15 points. You know, so like, just the difference of the losses is a big deal.
I won.
Okay. Ryan Clark's about to come in and drop the people's elbow on Shannon Sharpe. He's about to drop the rock. We're about to put the rock bottom on him. He's about to dunk on him in epic fashion. You hear me?
Ain't no fucking way.
Let's listen.
Dan, I love your reasoning for it. Stephen A., your reasoning is maybe solid. Shannon Sharpe, you should be ashamed of yourself because you've been carrying on a GOAT debate for a man that spent 8 years in the place and never won a championship. And then when he went to team up with his homeboys, the Banana Boat boys, Dirk Nowitzki shot 1 foot fallaways and put him out of his misery. And then the next year, they was getting beat. He was cramping up in San Antonio. And if it wasn't for balls hitting the rim and people kicking the football out to Ray Allen, he lose that one too, and he played terrible. So
Let him cook. Let him cook now.
Woo!
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was no ball. That was no ball. Yeah, listen.
But he's not done. He's not done, y'all. He is not done. Let him cook.
Let him cook.
Let him cook.
you to say that it could be tabled or that he had to do so much to get back into the conversation, you got to choose a side. You got to say you out here caping for LeGoat James all the time, or that GOAT conversation should have been tabled a long time ago as well. Because according to you, getting to the championship all of those times is supposed to matter. So the fact that Patrick Mahomes has never been sent home before the AFC championship, that got to matter. The fact that Patrick Mahomes already has 2 MVPs, that has to matter. 3 Super Bowl MVPs, that has to matter. There could be
Let
a
him
ton
cook
of
now.
his career left where he gets back to this moment. And because he didn't shine every time he got there, a lot like a guy we know, Shannon, that you cape for every single day.
Let him cook. Let him cook now.
Oh my God, he roasted Shannon Sharpe. It is epic. I'm sorry I'm live, so the headphone gang. But when I saw this, I had to react to it because you can't argue what Ron Clark is saying. LeBron James been to the championship multiple times. He's only got, 3-4 rings? But he's been in 21 years, going 22 years now. He's been to the finals multiple times. So, yes, that has to matter if we're talking about GOAT. Because we're looking at statistics, championships, times he's been to the championship. Everything has to count, right? So if we're going to have the same GOAT debate about LeBron James, Shannon Sharpe, we have to have that same metric with other players in other sports because you have to count everything, right? And I get it. LeBron James, we're talking about basketball, they have to be on both ends of the floor, so they have to play offense and defense. With the NFL, there's only one position, so they usually don't have to worry about either offense or defense. Got it. But same thing should still apply because they still have to do their job at their position. Ron Clark has a very good point here. Let's let him continue to cook.
Person you have caped for more than LeBron James is your brother, and your brother actually deserved it. And so for me, it is not tabled. It's a bad night Absolutely. But it does not erase all the things that Patrick Mahomes has accomplished. It also hasn't erased, and I know I would think Dan would agree with me here, that the first 7 years of Patrick Mahomes starting at a quarterback, that film was so much hotter than what Tom Brady's film was. That film was so much hotter than what any quarterback we have ever seen was. He's the best we've ever seen actually play the position, and that has to count in this conversation. And it better count to you, Shannon, because it's your argument.
I gotta let
every
Shannon
single
chime in.
time.
Go ahead, Shannon. Floor is yours, because you got a lot of explaining to do right there.
It does.
Yeah.
But I don't think we can have this conversation currently because Tom has 7, Patrick has 3. Now let's see if he gets another regular season MVP. Let's see if he can win another Super Bowl MVP, because we just can't look at the championships. We have to look at everything.
Nice tap dancing. Not nice tap dancing.
Ron is a 13-time first-team All-NBA selection. He's a 21-time All-Star game starter. Those matter. It's a compilation of all the awards, of all the accolades when we go into the GOAT conversation. That's what we look at when we talk about GOATs as far as defensive players. LT, he's a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. He's an MVP. That matters. So I'm looking at LeBron James in its totality. If you just, and again, we just can't look at it, guys, as championships. And Stephen A., you and we talk about this. It just can't be championships, because if that's the case, we got to bring Robert Orr into the discussion because he has 7. And a lot of those Celtics players have 10, have 6, have 5.
Stop it.
So we look.
Now, I've heard this discussion. I've had this discussion at work and where I'm at. That, okay, well, are we going championships or accomplishments? Because if we're going off of accomplishments, everybody's going to say LeBron James. If we're going to go off of championships, he has a point. We got to bring a lot of people into the conversation, because a lot of people were fortunate enough to get on teams that were, that won rings, right? So the question is, what are we measuring here?
Total body of work, regular season MVPs, Super Bowl MVPs, all NBA selections, all pro, finals MVPs, Super Bowl MVPs. So, but I think for right now, I don't think we can really have a fair conversation, because, like you said, Tom's career is complete. Patrick still, I believe he still has at bare minimum a decade of great football to go.
Let me say this.
Well, y'all, there you have it. I ain't going to play no more. I just wanted to show y'all that. I want to give some context before Ryan Clark got into his part of the debate. And then I wanted to show you Shannon Sharpe's response to the criticism, or the debate, rather, if you will. And I thought Ryan Clark made a good point. Shannon Sharpe did make a good point on the back end, but Ryan put him on blast about how he shapes his GOAT debate, or how he measures GOATs. And I believe that Ryan Clark had a very good point. He exposed Shannon Sharpe for the way he grades the GOATs. And, well, y'all let me know what y'all think about it, all right? And with that being said, thank you for attending another episode of Normieville. You know me, I'm just Normie, here to bring you the latest and greatest in sports and entertainment. Let me know what you think about Ryan Clark cooking Shannon Sharpe on the GOAT debate down in the comment section. And please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell on your way out of the door. And I will see you on the next video.